Oh, hello. Welcome to the first stream of the year. We're going to be playing some PowerWash Simulator. We're playing the SpongeBob DLC. I've been meaning to properly sit down and play this for a while. I've played a few maps already. This has been kindly donated by Jess, so thank you very much. And yeah, we're going to be cleaning the Krusty Krab and various other bits of SpongeBob paraphernalia. So let's get into it. It's gonna be good. Gonna be good. Let's see. Did I disable? I did. There we go. But yeah. Do I need to turn some music on as well? I don't know what. I can't remember what PowerWash has by default. Let me just get stuff loaded up. For anybody watching the VOD and wondering why is he so unprepared today? Well, skipping that one. I got caught out playing Peak, and our run was going longer than I expected, so I ended up having to stream a bit of Peak. But it's all good. Anyway, let's do it. So we have got the Krusty Krab to clean. I've cleaned SpongeBob's house. I've cleaned a bus. Get into it. Let's have a little catch up. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a lovely, amazing new year. Oh, look at this. And the chum bucket. Oh my god, I'm in heaven. You get to clean both of them. Oh. Good stuff. But yeah, hope everybody's had a good festive period. I hope everyone's doing okay going back to work as well. I officially go back tomorrow. So that's me. But yeah, hope everybody has had a nice time. I've also been away to France with Jess. We saw some of Jess's family. It was lovely. Jess's family live in like quite a remote part of France. And it's honestly very, very quaint, and I love it. And honestly, at first, when I thought about this, because it's very like in the middle of nowhere, it's in the sticks, I was really worried that I was going to be freezing cold, and like I wasn't sure because at this time of year, especially, it was going to be so nippy. But you know what? The log burners they had were perfect. It was honestly nowhere near as bad as I thought. But then again, I'm so used to like how I don't know. I'm not saying it isn't as bad in mainland Europe. But I just feel like the cold's a bit worse here. At least for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just built weirdly. But yeah. But no, the log burners were amazing for keeping us going. It was great. I'm not happy about going back to work. I'm sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's not great, is it? It really isn't. It ain't all that. It ain't all that. But I don't know. Like it's 2026. It's a whole new year, a whole new year of opportunities, and I don't know what are people excited for. I've struggled to think every time a new year dawns. Like I talk about things I'm excited for all year long, and then as soon as the year actually comes along, I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember what's coming out this year. Don't say GTA 6. Because GTA 6 is never coming out. It won't happen. There's a Kung Fu Panda kindergarten in my neighborhood. Amazing. Is there like a other classes and shit named after the characters from Kung Fu Panda? I don't know. I guess you wouldn't know, but like, that's kind of mad. That's kind of mad. Some family friends have a little place in France. Yeah. Half-Life 3. I look Spodulix. It's like a little, how do I describe? In a little residential area, all the houses are connected to a small canal and dock area. So they have boats that can sail out into nearby lake. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know what you'd call that. I'm kind of picturing like yeah, I don't. There's got to be a name for that sort of thing, right? I can't think of what it is. That sounds lovely though. I don't know how that would be this time of year. But I can imagine like the height of summer, that would be absolutely gorgeous. I have no clue. It's just a kindergarten called Kung Fu Panda. Nice. I vaguely remember us talking about that before, actually. Weren't we talking about like off-brand? I can't remember the exact conversation, but it's like we were talking about when like companies very avoids the copyright margin by an absolute thread. I think I can't remember what exactly it was, but yeah, it was something like that. And we're talking about like the biggest one for me with that sort of thing is ice cream trucks having like Pink Panther and like very, very, very legally distinct Bart Simpson. You know, has like Bort Sampson and Little Moggy Simpin. Oh, that was about the about Burger Place called Bikini Bottom. That was it. That was it. But yeah. So yeah, shall we have a little natter? We have a little natter about things. So for anybody that missed it, I will be doing things a bit different this year. I did a whole video explaining it, or a whole like stream explaining it, I should say. But we're gonna be changing up the formula a little bit. We're not gonna be doing the 3-game system anymore. For anyone that missed it, I felt like it's just too complicated. I think that too many people were getting like upset with where games were being put and how I was categorizing games, and I know that a lot of people didn't care. But I also just think for the sake of simplicity for new viewers, it makes a lot more sense to try and like minimize the explanation needed. So there are jellyfish flying about. That's fucking cool. So yeah, going forward, we're only gonna have one main game happening at any given time. So all of your votes and stuff will still be counted and count towards this. But basically, Mahusive games, medium games, and any short games that are not beatable within like one stream, and by that I mean like 3 hours, are going to be put into the main game list, the main game sheet. In fact, you can go and view. I've actually changed the sheet already slightly. It's not finished. I'll try and get that done for next week. But everything has basically been morphed into one. And any short games, by the way, as well, I should say, that you previously couldn't vote for, that have been moved into that, have been given 20 votes by default. Purely because I feel bad that no one's had a chance to vote for them up until now. So it's just sort of like a little catch-up thing for them more than anything. I feel bad that no one, especially people wanted to see me play them eventually. I felt like it was a fair way of giving them a bit of a leg up. So yeah, short games, medium games, Mahusive games, anything that's not achievable in one stream, all in one list, and it's purely a vote-based system. Whatever has the most votes by the time we're done with the game that's currently being played, we will then go and play the new vote-leading game. And that's the way it's going to work. We're then repurposing the short game wheel, so that people can like make the most of me playing one thing once and then moving on, which is going to be rebranded as the One Stream Wonder games, or the one stream won the wheel. This will now boil down to basically me playing literally anything. It could literally even be a long game, like Hollow Knight is a great example of a game that's on there. I'll play it for one stream, and then that'll be it. We'll play it for a bit, we'll get a vibe for it, and then we move on to another game when that stream's over. 50 Cent is a main game. It is. Yep. It should also have 20 votes, Just Kill. I could be wrong. You know what? I'm going to double check the list because I haven't. It should be. Did I give it 10 or 20? I think I gave it 10. Oops, my bad. My bad, I gave them 10. Sorry, I lied. I gave it 10, not 20. I don't know where I got 20 from. As an error for my ways, I will give them all 20. I will repent. I have the original list already, by the way, so I remember what's on the list. I will actually make it 20. I don't know why I changed it to 10. Huh. Anyway, so anything that got moved over from being a short game to a main game will be, yeah, it'll be given 20 points, 20 votes. I think I must have done that as a place marker, and then I just hadn't gone back and changed it, so that's on me. But yeah. Dragon Age 2, let's go. Let's go. The Dragon Age 2 is currently... Oh, look. We've got 10 votes for Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2 is now sitting at 51 votes. Thank you very much. It's getting up there. It's getting up there. But yeah, currently the leader is Fallout 4. So I will preemptively warn everybody that unless initially I was thinking maybe we have a little bit of a respite before we start a big game as the first thing we do. But you know what? I've had a change of heart. I think we're gonna, because you guys have got a month to do this, if you guys want anything to beat Fallout 4, you got to get your votes in. I've decided to make it a little bit competitive, otherwise Fallout 4 will be the next main game we stream. It's quite a bit ahead, but I think Spore isn't too far behind. Have a look. So, Ni no Kuni is pretty close. Spore's like 40, less than 40 points off. 40 votes away from Spore. I mean, one thing I will say as well is that when I finish certain games on stream, I can also put votes towards certain things on this list, depending on how many hours I spent playing it. So Just Kill, if you present me a good reason, a plea, if you will, a royal plea. Wait, why am I saying royal plea? I'm not royalty. I'm like a scumbag. I'm not a fucking king. Oh my god, it's handsome Squidward. A funny creature. Let's go with funny creature. I'm a funny creature. Let's go with that. And even then, the funny part is funny looking in my case. Oh, that's the reason for sport. Funny creature. Yeah, you know what? Fair. Alright. So, just because I think it would be... My reasoning... If you're wondering why I'm umming and ahhing about Fallout 4 being the first thing we play... Granted, people don't obviously overtake it. Is that Fallout 4 is a big game. And... I think because we're going to be playing one thing at a time going forward, people might be a bit upset that the first thing we're playing is something really big. Which is kind of why One Stream Wonders are there to also help fill that void, and I plan on doing more stuff like this, and Peak, and Overwatch, and TF2, and whatever. As little supplementary streams, and Tower Unite, stuff like that. So... You know, there'll be other things, but I think that I will personally be putting my votes once we finish Undertale, once we finish Alien Isolation, Inscription, and Luigi's Mansion 2. I will probably put my votes into Spore, Back to the Future, or maybe Sam and Max. I think they're the games I will put my votes into personally. So yeah, for anybody voting for Spore or anything to overtake Fallout 4, you have till the end of the month. You have been warned. Oh, the Squidward. I love all of the little attention to detail. Camp Coral for life. Barnacle head. Dogfish love catfish. Cute. But yeah, anyway, so that's gonna be that. So going forward with things like roguelikes as well, roguelites, if it has a campaign and a story that I'm actually interested in, I will probably make it a main game. So things like Hades and Going Under and Inscription are good examples of these kind of games. But generally speaking, I'm not sure I will be doing like more than one Stream Wonders for a lot of roguelike or roguelite games in general. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Love that. Nice little Easter egg. Is mayonnaise an instrument? So yeah. So bear this in mind. So things like Balatro will be a One Stream Wonder. And you might be asking, Dave, stuff like Balatro and FTL have votes. I'm gonna make it so those games it'll be a wheel system we do. But because those games have votes, I'll make it so that they have a higher probability of being picked out of everything else, just so it feels a bit fairer. But apart from that, it'll be that. The Techno Locker, thank you for the shout out. I'm not sure if I assume they're streaming right now, but thank you very much if you're watching. Yeah, man, I kind of hate how addicting PowerWash Simulator is. One of those games where I'm just like, it's a bit of a like guilty pleasure game, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, there's something very good about it. I don't know, people will probably be like, what are you talking about? It's PowerWash Simulator, and I'm gonna respond with, listen, you don't get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. That's fine. But this is PowerWash Simulator, and it's great. I will not hear otherwise. Hey, there it is, the Techno Locker. Welcome in. How you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. How is everybody? Welcome in. What are you guys playing? PowerWash Simulator as well? We love to see it. We love to see it. Sponge Robert's rectangular shorts, exactly. How are we doing, guys? Welcome in. I did the shout out before the raid by accident. That's okay, no worries. I saw it come up and I was like, oh, well, thank you. That's lovely. How you guys doing? Man, so first of all, welcome in. I'm Dave. I'm a monotone Englishman. I play a lot of things. I'm a variety streamer. And I hope everybody has been doing well. I love PowerWash Simulator. I'm probably playing it wrong. But you know what? I'm open to criticism. It's fine. But yeah. Doing great. Second PowerWash Simulator stream. Let's go. Can you play this wrong? Listen, you'd be surprised. I have been critiqued for the way I play this game. Apparently, I play it like a maniac. And that's fine. You know, some people just like to act like maniacs when cleaning, apparently. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, but it's fine. It's fine. Miss Legendary PowerWash. I know, right? Nice. I love that. Listen, drawing stuff in this is also great. I love that. Just having a little but we can do that now. We'll do a little, what should we do? What's the next Banksy gonna be? It's gonna be a Wanksy. Suck. I don't know. You know what? I don't know why I wrote that. Get your Wanksy on, exactly. Yeah, there you go. So, and it's kind of on brand for Wanksy to write that sort of thing, right? Draw a vacuum. Oh no. Sure. Sure. All right. So this is the contraption, right? It's got some wheels on it. It's we have Hoovers over here called like Henry Hoovers. It's gonna be one of those. So Henry has a little nozzle. This is gonna get me banned on Twitch, and there you go. And then it sucks. And there we go. Yeah. It's a Henry. Impressive. I know, right? Wanksy would be proud. Henry are going to sue at how accurate this is. Listen. At least I can we can get rid of the evidence very quickly. All good. All good. I'll save that bit for last though. Hoover Dam. That drawing sucks. I know, right? I know, right? But welcome in, everybody. How's everybody's day been? Hope everyone has had a good day. Hope everyone's adjusting back to life after weeks of frivolity and just chilling out with the holidays, regardless of what you celebrate. I hope it's been nice. And ironically, they're some of the best vacuum. Exactly, right? Like, that's the thing, right? Like, they're bomb-proof. I'm actually convinced a Henry Hoover would survive, like, the apocalypse. And if we had, like, a fallout situation, they'd be making fucking Mr. Handies out of Henry Hoovers. I'm just saying. Like, they would actually survive anything. That'd be terrifying. That feels like a Doctor Who episode, actually. Has that happened yet? Did David Tennant ever have to eyeball up a Henry Hoover? Probably not. That's a sentence I just said. That's crazy. Right, so we need to get onto the roof. I'm gonna put that here. The J brothers are here. Welcome in. J Boogie, how you doing? Great, now I just mentally replaced Daleks with Henrys. I mean, Henry at least looks a bit friendly, you know what I mean? Like, if it's shouting exterminate at you, at least then you can get mixed messages from it, right? You can be like, oh, this thing couldn't hurt me. Look at its happy little smug DreamWorks grin. What a happy little fella. Henry Hoovers was sent from space from an alien race to infiltrate people's storage cupboards and utility rooms. That's exactly it. It's up to the Doctor to sort it, that's right. Man, what a great episode. You know what? I've got to admit, I've not seen much of Doctor Who. I've seen like a good chunk of David Tennant's lot. I saw a bit of Matt Smith, a bit of Capaldi, and like a crumb of the last two. But yeah, I would definitely watch that plot 100%. Listen, anything's got to be better than the Beatles episode from recently. I did try and watch the new series of Doctor Who. I don't know how into Doctor Who people are here. I'm sorry if I'm if this is somebody's favorite Doctor Who episode. They did a Beatles episode in the new series, and it was not very good. It was like an alternative, like, reality where the Beatles didn't exist. I know they did exist, but melody, like, the concept of, like, musical melodies didn't. Or, like, some kind of, like, maybe it was, like, being able to express yourself through art didn't exist. It was something like that. And the Beatles just, yeah, it sounded bad. It sounded bad and the episode wasn't great, but you know what? I'm sure the rest of that series of Doctor Who is fine. I'm sure it was okay. I looked up a Henry Hoover. We got those and we just call them shop vacuum. I had another the whimsical naming of the British. Literally, yeah, literally. Yeah, that is true. If you put one on it, and you know what, you can make it more menacing if you wanted to. You can make it look like an evil Henry. Henry's a national treasure. Okay. As an interesting point, I think Henry the Hoover is way more iconic than some of the things that would be considered an English, like, national treasure, right? Or British. I should say British national treasure, let's be real. Henry and T go hand in hand, park life, exactly. All of that. All of that. It's a secret national treasure. Something most people not from here would understand. Exactly. Exactly. You know, like some national treasures that are global are things like, you know, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean's a pretty... I feel that's a good global British national treasure, right? But then you have, you know, then you have Henry the Hoover. Lesser known, and Jimmy's. Let's keep him a secret. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that one doesn't ride. Yeah, fair play actually. You know what? Sometimes it's better to forget what National Treasures were about, eh? Sometimes it's for the best. Oh boy. You could just be naming your mate and I wouldn't know. I feel like it's and people who aren't from the UK, do you think English people could or British people could very easily get away with just like if I straight face went on about some like weird tradition that we did and I gave it a really like poncy English name, do you think people would believe it? I think they would. That's not me criticizing people from other countries for not being in on a joke, by the way. That's just more, I feel like we are, half the shit we come out with sounds like a fairy tale to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's honestly kind of hard to distinguish that from when we're joking. Like the tea time tea belt, exactly. Oh, I should probably preface all of this by saying, if you're not, trigger warning, do not Google Jimmy Savile if you don't already know who he is. Uh, he's not actually a national treasure now. Definitely need to put a warning on that for anybody that's curious. He's an incog search, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. I do wonder that as well. I wonder how much of it is like people trying to pass off bits, right? I just saw it was 50% left. I was like, we've only got this though, and I was like, oh wait, no, we don't. We disowned him a long time ago. Exactly, exactly. But yeah, no, there's all sorts of stuff like that. Oh, so you guys were playing PowerWash. What's your favorite PowerWash DLC? Have you played any of them? Have you like a go-to? So me and my partner have got a few of them. We've got this one. We haven't played the Shrek one yet, and we haven't played the Wallace and Gromit one yet. But they're the ones that we've got. So if anybody has any recommendations or has any feelings about any of them, second stream, very true, very true. Never mind. Just doing the campaign at the moment. Yeah, fair enough. Fair play. I will say the campaign's really good. Like, if you're looking for something long-term for streaming, and especially if you just want something to talk over, the campaign is perfectly fine, and it's pretty lengthy. It's pretty good. You're doing doodles and just chilling. That's fair. Honestly, that sounds lovely. That sounds great. I'm having fun with the game. That's great. Honestly, it is such a, especially for streaming as well. I feel like trying to find a game that is good for. I will say as well, like engagement doesn't have to be everything for streamers. It doesn't, it doesn't have to define what you do. But it's like, I think it helps when you have a game that's like, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, a game that's so brainless that it means that you can just like get on and you can chat with people, but you can also, you can make it your own, you can approach it however you want. It's, cool. And yeah, the Back to the Future one, couldn't agree more. I really want to get that one at some point. But yeah. Back to the Future is one of your favorite movies? Me too. Holy shit. Me too. I love that film. It's a comfort film. I do 2 and 3 are still very good, but there's something about 1 that's just so, from start to the beginning, I have no problems with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, like, it's of its time, but nothing feels particularly problematic about it. I'm gonna say that and people are gonna correct me, but it's also just one of these things. It's a comfort movie, right? It's so good. But yeah, but no, 2 and 3 are still very good, but I think Back to the Future works a lot better as like actually no, what am I talking about? It's a great trilogy. You should watch all of them, but 1 is definitely the kingpin for moi. Good. Yeah, this being essentially a just chatting stream with a game in the background, totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. 2 is your favorite growing up, but when I started to learn about what makes a good movie, the first one is just perfect. 2 is only good because of the first one. Exactly. I think 2 is great because it's like the layers start to build up, and like one of my favorite things from 2 is like the scene where Marty is like, he's gone back to the enchantment under the sea dance, right? And he's then having to like make his way on like over the top of the stage. This is slight spoilers, by the way. Make his way over the top of the stage while he's like looking down at himself performing from the first movie, right? I love stuff like that. That's really, that to me is like a really cool moment. I don't know, there's a lot in 2 and 3 that are really good though. Honestly, 3 is just a pretty good like sci-fi western. Like, unironically, 3 is not bad either. Three has a major plot error that I can never not see. Interesting. What's the plot error? You know what? I'm unaware of this, so I'm very intrigued. Heard about the second DeLorean theory. May take a couple of long sentences. Oh yeah, no, go for it. Yeah. I'm intrigued. The second DeLorean theory. I'm trying to think. So I feel like this is now going to be a make or break thing, and I'm going to be, oh no. But at the same time, I'm very intrigued. But yeah, no, Back to the Future is great though. Honestly, all of the DLC they picked out for this game, I'm really happy with. Like, I'm not a big Warhammer guy, but I think Warhammer was a good call. Alice in Wonderland's a fun idea in theory. I think that's probably the one I'm least interested in, but it's still cool. Back to the Future, they did some free DLC. They did. I love Final Fantasy VII. They did a free DLC for that. Tomb Raider. got a DLC as well. There's a bunch of really like well implemented things in this game. Like even just past the campaign, it's very good. Very cool. And PowerWash Simulator 2 is out as well. So eventually I would love to get around to that as well, but yeah. Okay. The end of 2, Doc gets sent back to 1885. Yeah, that's correct. He arrives in a DeLorean. Marty is back stuck in 1955. Yeah. And then decides to go back to 1985 to save him. Marty gets here, the fuel lines are cut, meaning that he can't drive the car at 88 miles per hour. Therefore, they use the train. Exactly. Yeah. However, there's a second DeLorean in 1885, the one Doc arrived in a couple of days before. Oh, but you know what? That's a great point. There would still be fuel in that DeLorean. They can't even use the one here, and they can't even use the one he arrived in. Sorry, I misread that. That's on me. They can't even use the one he arrived in. Oh, can. It's supposed to be a can, okay. And they can use the one he arrived in to repair the one Marty came in. That's a very good point. You know what? I never thought about that. I never thought about that. That's a very, very, very good point, though. Shit, that's the... Yeah, you know what? That is a very, very big plot error. No, not it's not a problem. Not a problem. Damn. Meaning the entire plot of the second movie, sorry, the third movie is pointless. Yeah. You know what? That's a very good point though. Holy shit. Is it something that because I feel like people must have gone on to ask about this though, right? So surely I imagine maybe the creators weren't thinking that deeply about it, but maybe someone's gone back and asked since. I have no idea if there's like a... If on their end they've tried to come up with a good excuse for why it's a no-no. I could definitely see a world where they'd say something like, oh, it was struck by lightning, and therefore Doc made it through, but the DeLorean exploded. I don't fucking know. But I guess it would also be... Oh no, but that wouldn't work either, because he left the DeLorean for Marty to come back in. Right? So he left that, so that... Yeah, you're right, it couldn't have been destroyed upon impact. Yeah, that's a good point, holy shit. He explains the dismantled DeLorean. He's not going to do it in a few days, as Marty arrives a couple of days after. Okay. So what's he going to do with the petrol in 1885? Very true. Not used as a fuel source yet. It's not like he could sell it. That's true, yeah, you know what? That's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. Holy shit, well that has definitely given me a whole other perspective on Back to the Future. What the fuck? That is crazy. Because I definitely had heard something about people... I generally heard that people weren't as into 3. But I assume that's for unrelated reasons. I think it's fair enough. It's not... I do think it's probably the weakest of the 3, but... It's, No, interesting, okay. Very interesting. Hell yeah. what's great is it goes through the history of the town for 130 years. Yeah. No, I do love that. I love that, and also just the callbacks to things and like the seeing how it's evolved. I think that the shots of Marty coming into like the clock tower, like the clock tower central part of Hill Valley is very, very like the fact it's basically the same shot done but from a different time period every time is very cool. I really like that. Have you ever played the Telltale Back to the Future games? You know what? So we have as a general heads up, we have a voting system that's part of our like streaming, what we do here on Twitch. We have one main game we play at any given time. We're currently on a bit of a break throughout January, but we have a channel point redemption system, and Back to the Future is actually quite high up at the moment on that list. Let me bring it up. Let's see, where is Back to the Future? Back to the Future is currently 5th with 91 votes, and the current vote leader is Fallout 4 with 141. But yeah, I would love to play that. I've got it. I've had it in my Steam library for fucking years, and I've just never played it. I don't know why, because I really like Back to the Future, but I'm looking forward to getting around to it on the stream at some point. But yeah. But no, I've heard very good things about it. That being based in the 20s and 30s, that's a cool... That kind of fills in the gap nicely. I think that's a really smart move for them to do that as well. You're introduced to Marty's grandfather, and obviously Biff's too interesting, okay. It's a bit of a clunky game. You know what? Compared to some of the shit we've played, I'm sure it's not too bad. But I've played a lot of like older Telltale games. Have you ever played any of the Sam and Max games? I've played basically all of those Telltale games. I know that they're relatively similar in terms of like playstyle. So I'm sure it probably won't be too far off of that. But yeah, I feel like Telltale have got a bunch of really good IPs under their belt though. I don't know how good the games actually are, but I really enjoyed The Wolf Among Us and Tales from the Borderlands and Sam and Max, but they're the only ones that I've played. I know a lot of people like The Walking Dead as well. The one I liked was a Shark Attack movie being played in the cinema. Not around anymore, annoyingly. Wolf Among Us was excellent. Yeah, the first Walking Dead game is excellent. Yeah. The sequels weren't as good. Yeah. Obligatory Dispatch mentioned. Well, Dispatch is something I've been very, very, very aching to play. Probably not the right word, but I have it. I was gifted it at Christmas, and I've been meaning to get around to it. But again, I would love to play it. It's very, very good. I have heard nothing but good things. The cast sound phenomenal. So I need to add it to the voting system. Is my honest response. I do kind of want to play it for myself though, but I kind of want people to. Okay, I don't know if anybody else here streams. I'm sure you also have this thing, but it's like I now have a really awful conflict constantly where I'm like, I really want to stream this, but I want to play it now. And therefore, I have a really, because of the system that we've got, it also means I feel the need to play what we've got lined up first before I can get to like things that are like, oh, obviously I want to play everything that is on the list. I don't want to sound like I don't. But like Dispatch is especially on there at the moment, and it's just one of those games where I'm currently like, well, I will probably have to wait for it to be voted for, or I just play it off stream, but then I can't stream it because I've had it spoiled for me. So, and sometimes you want to concentrate on it too. Exactly. Damned if you do. Exactly. I think it would stream well, but it's also very good on your own. Yeah, that's fair. I would advise you to play it off stream. That's just my opinion. I could do that, you know. I could do that. Or I could do like a... I'm starting to toy with the idea of doing like pre-recorded VODs and things like that. So I might just do like a VOD of it. So I might just record me playing it, but it will be like out of streaming time. So at least then I've got like something to upload to the VOD channel. That could work better. Because yeah, I do kind of just want to play it. So I might let that one jump the system a little bit, and we do that first. If you can play it multiple times, maybe you can do both off stream and off stream to begin with. If you felt it deserved the replay, then stream it. That's a good shout too. I like that. I do a single run off stream. Do we want to do? Don't have any influences, and then if you want to do it again, stream it with chat. That's a great shout, guys. That's a really good shout. Okay, what I'll do, I'll stream it off stream. Well, sorry, I'll stream it off stream. I'll play it off stream, but I'll record it. And I'll upload that somewhere as just like a long form VOD. And then once I'm done with that, if people want me to play it live, I will then do another playthrough. There you go. That kind of scratches the itch, I think. That's a great shout though. Play it with all of the licensed music, the game deserves it. Yeah, okay, Dave rant time real quick. I love that games are trying to be more and more inclusive for the concept of giving you like streamer mode and stuff like that. But I feel like sometimes the licensed music kind of just adds to it to an extreme where I'm like, fuck, I kind of wish I wasn't listening to the same 4 tracks that are in the streamer friendly mode. You know what I mean? So I do totally get that, yeah. If you didn't want to play it again, you feel like you've played it anyway. Exactly. You know what? Great suggestions, guys. Thank you. Come on, Fart Bath is a great band. That's the name of the non-licensed music band. I see. Fart Bath is a great name for a fucking band, though. Holy shit. That's great. But yeah. But no, I really want to play Dispatch. Again, it was very kindly gifted to me. I won't say by who, in case they don't want me to out them. They might be watching. But it's very, very kind of them, and I am eternally grateful. Is a fart bath a burp? I said that so posh, didn't I? Fuck me. Okay, I feel... I sometimes hear myself and I think, I sound like such a posh cunt. I actually hate it. I don't know what it is. I'll sometimes say something and I'll be like, fucking hell, Dave. Like, just be a little bit less fucking up your own arse, mate. Anyway, sorry. Right, let me read that again and not sound like a twat. Is a fart bath a burp? with chunks. Hmm. It could be. Or it could just be a very, very runny poo. It could be one of the two. One of my viewers thinks I'm mega posh, but I'm definitely not. I mean, I don't know, it's just, I think, so, I don't know, it's one of these things where it's just kind of like, I guess it depends on how you, like, articulate, I guess, more than anything, to an extent, right? It's like, how you, or even just, like, accents, like, I'm based in the south of England, so it just means that it's generally pretty stereotyped to be that way, I guess, but I'm definitely not in I'm not well off at all. Let's change nozzle. Krusty Krab. But yeah, no, Dispatch, amazing. I think that this year, I don't know how into JRPGs people are here, but I feel like this year in particular, we've had a lot of games from genres that, you know, have been around for a while, but they've sort of been like redefining what makes that genre good, or to an extent just making a, you know, a something that's kind of revolutionary for that genre. And, you know, we've had games like Clair Obscur, and we've had Dispatch, and I know that friend slop games aren't for everybody, but we were playing Peak earlier, and I love Peak, and like Peak's a really big one. I don't know, I just feel like last year in particular, I feel like it was a really, really big year for games kind of redefining what the space is meant to look like going forward. It was cool. It was cool. I also just feel like it's been an insane year for indie game devs. 100%, yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, Clair Obscur is obviously, it's a double A game. It's not like an indie game. I'm sorry if that upsets people. Clair Obscur is a double A game. There's still a publishing, like, there's still money put into it, right? But it is an indie game ultimately. You know, it's not like a big. It's one of these things. But it's you know, it's not Call of Duty, but at the same time it's not Peak. I feel like Peak's like by a small independent team. Whereas yeah, it's, you know, it's one of these things where it's, and I think even Dispatch is dispatched by a double A studio. There's definitely money behind Dispatch. I wouldn't say that's indie either, but again, compared to what's considered triple A, it would be considered indie, right? For sure. Oh yeah. It's not a JRPG though. I see a lot of posts on JRPG Reddits, which list the best JRPG games, and Expedition is always on them. Yeah, you know what? That's true. I think the big thing with that, Pedro, is probably because it's like, obviously turn-based RPGs are not exclusively JRPG, but I feel like if you think turn-based RPG, people feel free to correct me if I'm barking up the wrong tree here, but like, I think of like Pokemon, I think of Final Fantasy, I think of Dragon Quest, and all of them are very, very, very intrinsically JRPGs, right? And I think that people have kind of misbranded turn-based RPG for JRPG in a lot of cases. I feel like it's very often the case where that will be a tag that's thrown around when they mean something else. It's a little bit like roguelike and roguelite being mixed up. Or maybe even like a Souls game not really being a Souls game. I don't know. But you know what I mean. It varies on the thing for sure. By definition, I guess it's indie, but it's not indie at heart. Agreed. Oh yeah, no, it upsets me. It's the reverse because it's mostly Ubisoft devs. Happy for them. Who aren't starting from scratch. Exactly. Dispatch had a load of money for sure. It was like a 78 project. Yeah, exactly. It actually made me so happy they lost the Indie Game Award post-event. Yeah. But no, like, I think small teams... Indie games for me really should be a small independent team with not, like, a ton of funding. Like, obviously, it's great if you have got funding, but it's, I don't know. But again, I must stress, I'm not taking anything away from Dispatch or Clair Obscura's games. I'm sure they're still absolutely impeccable in their own right. I'm just saying that purely for the argument of what are we justifying, like where are we moving the goalposts for what counts as like an indie game. I think that's a really a really important point to be making, you know. Those are all Japanese, so it makes sense. Yeah, exactly. There are grey areas for genres. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's very, very... How do I put it? Door handles. Alright, we're going to start going around and doing like the little bits. Yeah, in terms of genres, it is very... I think it's just because sub-genres are also then brought in as a sub-factor. It makes things a lot harder to then, like, categorize in that regard, right? I do totally get that. Yeah. Considering game companies are closing left, right, and center, we're going to see lots of ex-professional game devs. Devs groups call themselves indies. Yeah, very true. But they are almost always make amazing games. Which could prop up the industry 100%, 100%. Both are amazing. I do like Clair Obscur, and obviously I like Dispatch, but they're not indie in my opinion. Not AAA, but not indie. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Employee focused. Yeah, I like that. I like that as an alternative. I agree. But yeah, but I've heard nothing but bad things about like the development process for both Clair Obscur and Dispatch. I've heard that it was it didn't sound like there was too many controversial things, or any really. I know that this not Dispatch. I know that Clair Obscur had a AI panic thing recently. I don't know how true that was, but there was like an AI. I think it was one of the it was like a preset thing, or it was like a placeholder thing was left in the game, and they used AI for it. But obviously it was meant to be changed for like the final release. I don't think, like, don't get me wrong, fuck AI. I'm not about AI, guys. I'm sorry, but like I think that ultimately, like, for very, very early developmental things, it's not the end of the world. As long as you're not trying to then flog that as the end product. I think for, like, just testing the water with something and using it as a tool, I don't think it's, like, the worst thing ever. But, again, I'm not into AI. I'm not a big AI guy. An AI guy. Yeah. You have the same background music I have in mine. Let's go. A video game lo-fi playlist. I made hell yeah, yeah. I've got the exact same. I got the exact same. I've got all of the Zelda and Pokemon and chills in there, and I've got like what else? I've got some like more general ones, and then I've got we just got some general lo-fi bits. But yeah, it was generative AI for placeholder. That's it. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was generative AI placeholder. They forgot to remove it on shipping and violated an indie gamer rule. Yeah, I see. It's such a broad concept, AI. You can't exactly use it as a blanket statement to say no to AI. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like, I should probably specify more with my own aversion to it. It's mainly when it's like within art. I think that AI should be completely out of the question. Like, if you're developing like an image, there should be, the final product should not have any AI whatsoever featured within that. But if you need, let's say, a visual representation of how something might look, or you need a placeholder, or you need something to work with as a tool for you to then develop the thing that doesn't have AI involved within it, I don't have as much of a problem with that, to be honest with you. I really don't. At the end of the day, AI should be implemented as a tool, and obviously it's there to help you, but it shouldn't be producing the final end product. I think that for me is like where that becomes a problem. So, yeah. But yeah, as you say though, the general term AI is thrown around so much these days. I don't think half the people that throw it around know actually what what AI is. I think it's become the new buzzword, or like the buzz term, you know what I mean? It's like people happily throw it onto anything because it's the hip thing, right? Like most things, it's context and how much it's used. If you're claiming you did it exactly, 100% agree with that, 100%. I think it's fine if it's used as a tool. Place something there, then a human makes it later. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, it shouldn't replace a job. It should be implemented by a human to then, you know, be utilized. Yeah, totally agree. I had a moral dilemma with this emote I made. I wanted an emote of a bear saluting. All the images of bears online that saluted were essentially circus bears who were tortured or pets. Fair enough, yeah. I didn't want to use any of them for that reason, so I used AI to make it, and it's perfect. Now, how else could I get that without finding a literal bear and trying to get it to salute? 100%. You know what? In that context, and obviously I agree with you, I think that using an animal that's been tortured or might be in a more broad sense be doing it in a potentially not so ethical way. I think that that's fine, and I think that in the context of like, if it's a very, very niche thing you're looking for, and honestly as well, I think as long as you're also tagging that it's been made with AI, I don't think that is like the end of the world either. But at the end of the day, I think it's just when the full-on job is replaced by AI, or somebody is claiming to be like a an artist in a field where everybody else is trying really hard and they're getting away with just like shitting things into prompts. I think that for me is way more controversial and way more problematic. But yeah. Blind Monkey, welcome in. How you doing? I see but I can't speak. I see a pineapple under the sea. Also, I can see the playlist. Oh, and hi, Flying Monkey. How are you? I very much dislike circuses that use animals in zoos. I don't think they're being. Sorry, I don't think they belong in the 21st century. Yeah, I agree with that. I have a lot of friends that are very involved in like animal welfare, or they sort of do like ecology and things like that at university, and that, you know, just hearing stuff from them about like how outdated a lot of that sort of stuff is, it's very interesting. I didn't do anything remotely interesting for my degree. Before people ask, I did essentially a media degree. So I'm useless to society. Hello, welcome. But yeah, it's it's fascinating hearing about it, you know. And I agree. Circuses that use animals, especially, I think, is an alien one. I think zoos are definitely not perfect either, but I do think that I like to think at least a good chunk of the people that end up working in them are at least like looking out for the animals, but I could be very wrong about that. I don't know. That's what I try and tell myself at least, but I'm probably very wrong. But yeah. I used to love zoos as a kid, and then in the last 20 or so years, I don't like to see it anymore. A lion shouldn't be roaming in some hills in the UK in the middle of December. Exactly. I'm also a hypocrite as I eat meat. I mean, I think that's the thing you have to separate though. Is like, obviously it's really positive to be looking out for the welfare of like an animal, but at the same time, like I you know, you've got to live your life, and ultimately, as long as the animals are, for the most part, being, if you are eating meat, for example, like try and make sure it's coming from sources that are looking after the animals properly, and you know that if it's, I mean, it's not quite the same, but it's like, if for example making sure chickens are like free range or whatever, right? I think that's a big thing for me. I'm not a vegan or a veggie, but I respect people who are, you know. It's is what it is. Is what it is. I only like one zoo. It's an animal rehabilitation. So it only takes in animals that can survive in the climate and generally need help. Exactly. I think that sort of thing's perfect. That's a really good example of like a zoo where it's like that feels fit for its purpose, as opposed to it being essentially like a prison for animals. Again, I'm sure that a lot of zoos are probably looking out for the animals. It's probably not as bad as it seems, but like, I think it is just like, it's one of these things where it's like they probably would be happier anywhere else. You know what I mean? But yeah. A sanctuary. Yeah, maybe a sanctuary. That sounds about right. Entertainment, I feel, is not one of them. Yeah, entertainment shouldn't be one of the things that they're being like used for. Like, if it's a place that's genuinely taking them in and looking after them, fine. Not to change the subject, by the way, but how the fuck does this work? Power washing underwater? I know, right? I know. I mean, the thing with SpongeBob is I have to keep telling myself is there's Goo Lagoon and stuff like that in SpongeBob, right? There's stuff like you know, which is essentially like a sea. I think it's meant to be an oil spill, which is very funny. But you know, there's SpongeBob finds ways to like break the weird side of it. I don't know. You pay money to view animals, yeah. If it's a byproduct, so be it. But it shouldn't be the main goal. Like 100%, 100%. A 5 streak. Thank you so much, Fly Monkey, for the stream streak. If they had a fire on the water, SpongeBob logic goes hard. True, true. I think I'd be a vegan eventually. Don't waste that meat. So an animal gave you their life. Like, exactly, exactly. I think that's the thing as well, is like respecting that came from something, and ultimately, you know, just respecting stuff like that. It's cool. Illuminati music plays. No worries at all, Technolocker. Thank you so much for stopping in though, and for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you anybody that's hung around from the raid as well. It's been lovely chatting with you all. You've all been lovely. If anybody else needs to dip and run, I totally understand. If not, you're very welcome to stay. But thank you so much. I will also drop you a follow, because you have been a lovely chat participant. Thank you, and you seem like a lovely person. Thank you. Have a great evening. Take care, and I'll try and also catch one of your streams soon. So take it easy. I'll see you. See you when I see you. Alright, have a good one. Take care. No worries, Flying Monkey, no worries. You know what? In this game, I weirdly get a thing where, like, if I fall down from something, I'm gonna take full damage. I think it's the years of playing Team Fortress 2 and Minecraft that have just gradually rotted my brain. But yeah. Oh shit. But yeah, but no, I mean, yeah, not to get too deep on the subject, obviously, but I totally agree with the sound sort of like theory of like and reasoning of not wasting that animal product and making sure that the animal, if it is being used for meat and stuff like that, making sure it's like sourced from something that's like good, you know what I mean? It's or at least it had like a happy life, or it wasn't treated badly. That's a big thing for me, right? But yeah. Right, there's definitely a bit of detritus up there. Oh, by the way, for the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire stream, when it happens, there's a British version with Chris Tarrant. It's proper good too. Okay, excellent. Okay, shall I do that one then, Jessica? Are you preemptively saying that's the one we should play? Because I will suck at it, but we will do that one if that's the one. Okay, perfect. What's it? Is it a PC game? What are we talking about? What are we talking? No clue. Okay, that's all right, mate. Don't worry. I'll have a look. I'll have a look into it. Thank you, though. Yeah. Wait, Dave, can you play Minecraft for the Wii as a one-stream wonder? You can play Minecraft on the Wii? That's great. That's insane behavior. I have no idea. Oh, the Wii U. Okay, I don't have a Wii U, but I can probably Dave box it for sure. We can Dave box 420 that bad boy. I'll consider it because I don't actually have a Wii U controller, so the thing with stuff like that is like I really like the idea of trying it. Like I had the same idea, Flying Monkey, with playing Call of Duty for the Wii, but I realized that I can't get the Wii accessories to work on, at the moment at least, I can't get the Wii accessories to work on my PC. Sorry, through the Dave Voxel 20. So it would essentially mean I end up just playing the game as I would play it on PC, but just through a Wii emulator. You know what I mean? So it's like it sort of defeats the point of it. But if I can get a Wii U controller, maybe. Oh, it's a fan thing. Okay, got it. I was gonna say, you know what? I'll have a think. If there's a way I can do it, I'll have a look into it. Let's see. There's also an Amazon version. You can play with chat. Oh, okay. Maybe we start with the Chris Tarrant one, and then we move on to that one as like a finale. Sort of like Jackbox. You can connect with your phone. Play Jeopardy. You know what? Jeopardy would be a funny one. I'd loan you a Wii U if you weren't on the other side of the go. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follows as well, by the way, guys. Thank you, Techno and Awesome Elf, for the follows. I appreciate you. Yeah, I did have a Wii U for a bit. I got rid of it. It's I love Nintendo stuff. I'm a big fan, but it's I don't know. At the moment, I'm very hesitant to be a Nintendo fan. I have a lot of love and respect for the games that have come out previously, but I'm not in a very good place with them at the moment. So that's all I will say. I also just can't afford a Switch 2, which is kind of the other element. It's not really in the budget right now. But I don't know, one day I'll get around to it. Switch 2 is rough, yeah. But I don't know, like, I will say the games, like, some of them for the Switch 2, like, Donkey Kong Bonanza looks fun. Like, genuinely, I think I'd enjoy it. But, other than that, I really don't have a lot of, like, the new Pokemon game I do not care for. I've not played a Metroid Prime game before, so I feel like I'm not really in the running to talk about that one. And then what else is there? I mean, Mario Kart World looks okay, but honestly, I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is kind of perfect. Like, I don't love Mario Kart, but I think Mario Kart 8 is like the perfect balance of everything I'd want a Mario Kart game to be. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm just kind of like, you know what, that'll do. I'm kind of settled with that one, and I'll move on with my life. But yeah, I don't know. My teacher got an Nintendo Switch 2 for Game Club today. Ooh. I have the OLEDs. It's nice if you have the extra money. I probably should have got the OLED one. Oh, is that for the Switch? I only got it because my OG Switch was louder than a Boeing. That's fair. That's fair. Well, Mario Kart game is weird. Yeah, I mean, I could see why it'd be fun. I'm not a big Forza guy, or I'm not a big racing game guy. Like, my idea of a good racing game is something like Mario Kart. If that gives you an idea, I'm not into cars at all. I couldn't be further removed from being like into cars and things like that. But Mario Kart does scratch the racing itch for me for sure. But yeah, I don't know, open world, it feels like something that would be in like a Forza game, but I'm not about it. And, oh yeah, sorry, and Auto Modelista, of course, Just Go, of course. We're getting Kill Out, the boy. Killer and Just Coach. They return. Revenge of the Sloth. Yeah. I already got the Switch too. I bought it before the $90 game announcement. Oh, really? Oh, damn, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be rough. I don't know, like... I think, honestly, the thing is like... I know that this is kind of the wrong attitude to have. I feel like AAA games in general are going up to about 70 quid here, about £70. In general, anyway. I don't think Donkey Kong is that badly priced with that in mind. Especially if you do get a lot of game for your buck. But at the same time, I feel like 85 quid is taking the piss with Mario Kart World. I think that's far too much money. Like, I don't know, like, regardless of how much content they pump into that game, I just do not see the, like, the monetary... Did I say Mario Cup? Is that, did I just say that? Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing a few things. Let's see. The glove. Let's go deal with the glove. But yeah. But in Mario Kart 8, like I say, the one for the Switch and the Wii U, great game. Actually, a very good game. Somewhere between Cup and Kart. That's it. Okay, the lower rim. That's that one. That's not the lower rim, but that's fine. Okay, let's go deal with this, and then we should be all good. And we just got the actual bucket itself. Okay, is that chum bucket done? That is the chum bucket done. Okay. We now just have the Krusty Krab left to go. Perfect. I'd be fine if the physical was $70, but digital 60 and maybe 80 physical. Sorry, maybe 80 physical and 70 digital, but jumping $30 for digital is crazy. Agreed. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Awesome Alpha is... I don't know. I don't know. Nintendo got a bit too greedy. That's all I can say. Like, I think their games are phenomenal for the most part. Pokemon maybe not so much. I feel like that's been dwindling for a while, but I know that's not really Nintendo. That's Game Freak. But in general, I think Nintendo makes some pretty good games. It's sad to see them get greedy and cocky now that the Switch did so well, you know? It's not great. It's not great. Yeah, 50% increase because you say so is not cool. Agreed. I couldn't agree more. But yeah, take care, Flying Monkey. Have a good evening. Or whatever time it might be for you. But yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what's coming out this year for Nintendo. Is there anything big coming this year? Okay, real talk. I unironically love the Tomodachi Life games, and Miitopia was really funny as well. FIFA 2. Let's go. We get to play as fucking £80 Ronaldo. I can't wait. Let's go. Again, I know nothing about football. I'm gonna say Pele just to annoy people. I want to play as 80-pound Pele. A man who probably hasn't played football since before I was born. There we go. But yeah, but Tomodachi Life 2 is going to be cool. I think that'll be a funny thing to stream whenever it's out. I think it's coming out for the Switch 1 as well, but I don't know. Pacopia, I heard, has some traction, but again, it's Game Freak. Is that the one that's like Stardew? Is that the Ditto game where you're playing as a Ditto and you're having to like you have to like run the like build up your little settlement? Stardew of Pokemon, yeah. I think that could be fun. But again, like you say, it's Game Freak, but I don't know, like, I don't know if anybody's played Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'm not a massive Disney person, but I will admit Disney Dreamlight Valley is actually pretty good. I played it a bit. I saw it and I was like, you know what, I really like Stardew Valley, I might like this, and I ended up really liking it. But it's essentially just you build up like your own little settlement. You get various like characters that join you that have different abilities, and it's a very like casual friendly game. It's cute. And yeah, I feel like this game will be very similar to that. I don't know, I could be wrong, but yeah. The Krab arches. Yeah, I don't know really what's coming out. Again, I feel like I'm stuck in an infinite loop of just not knowing shit, but I actually can't think of anything else. I made a note on my... Where is my phone? I have no idea where I left my phone. Oh well, I'll go find it in a bit. But yeah, I have no... I have like a little list on my phone of like things I'm excited for. And check the fridge. True, actually, it might be there. You might be right. You might be right. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'll have a little think. I'm interested in the Animal Crossing update, but it's got to be worth it. None of this Tears of the Kingdom bullshit where it's 30 bucks for more frames. Agreed. Yeah, I love Tears of the Kingdom, don't get me wrong, but even if I had a Switch 2, I wouldn't be paying for like an FPS upgrade. Like, that is stupid. That's really dumb. Nobody remembers to check the fridge and the toilet. You know what? Fair play. Justkill, I will do that just for you. Don't worry. I'll do that just for you first, and then I'll go look elsewhere if I don't find it there. But thank you. But yeah, as you say, I love Animal Crossing. It's great. I adore just New Horizons. I really like New Leaf as well. They're probably my favorite too. I grew up on Wild World. Was that the DS one? Wild World? I think it was. That was my ship. I have a very core do I want to share this on stream? I don't know if I do. You guys want to hear an embarrassing story? It's about Animal Crossing. I feel like it's a guaranteed yes, but I'll always... Okay. Right, so as a kid, I was probably about 9 or 10. And at that age, you start to... I was chronically on YouTube and things at the time, and I started to explore the internet, and I learned all about swear words, everybody. And I thought they were the funniest thing on planet Earth. And as a 9 or 10-year-old, I used to send the villagers in my town various letters that basically just said, they essentially just said fuck off and stuff like that. I was a menace. Were you a no limit internet kid too? I was. I was sort of monitored for YouTube for a bit, but not for long. And then after that, I was just like, yeah, just do what you want. But yeah, I was playing Animal Crossing, and I just sent out a bunch of letters to the villagers being like, lol, fuck you, or saying like, you're a twat, mate, lol, and stuff like that. And one day our neighbor came round, and I won't say their name, and they're about my age, and we played Animal Crossing together, and you can send each other letters if you connect your phone to your phone, if you connect your DS to the internet. And I did the same thing to him, where I just sent him a message saying lol, get fucked, or something like that. I actually can't remember what I sent. It was something like that. And then his mum came round, and he has like two younger brothers, and they also played, and he got a letter that said this thing, and his mum came around and was like, hi, so my kid was playing Animal Crossing and they got this. Does Dave know anything about this? And I was brought out, and I was like, oh, I don't think so. And I think even as a kid, I think I had the audacity to say, could it have been one of your like brothers or something like that? And then the icing on the cake is like, I don't think so. And then she shows it to me and my mum, and it's signed from Dave. And it's like, I got caught red-handed. It was the most embarrassing thing. It's the most embarrassing thing on fucking planet Earth. It's such a cool memory that I still remember it vividly today. Like, she obviously, nobody cared, but like, it's, man, what a funny thing to look back on. It's so funny to think about. So anyway, that's my Animal Crossing story. I think I refused to send letters to people since, not gonna lie. Like, after that happened, I think I was even scared to send them to my villagers, because I was like, fuck, what if I do this again? I became a serial arsehole. A serial get fucker, exactly. A get fucker. I was worried that one of your villagers would show a deer letter from Dave to your friend, because they keep a whole. That's true. They do that, don't they? Yeah, they do. You know what? If I still have that Wild World save somewhere on that DS. If I have a way of capturing it, I might see if I can find it and take a picture of it somehow. Because I definitely still have that save. I have that. The only two games I still have saved for that DS are Wild World and Pokemon Diamond, I think. I think I wiped a lot of the other ones because I either wanted to sell them, or I was like, if I play this again, I want to have a clean slate sort of thing. But I kept Pokemon Diamond and I kept Wild World, so I'll see if I can find it. But it's somewhere. Okay, let's check this again. The arches. Okay, so let's do the other arch. But yeah. Awesome Elf, is there a certain like Nintendo IP that you wish they did more with, out of curiosity? Are you like a big Nintendo guy, I should ask? I suppose that's like probably a better question. Can you get out of the area? What do you mean? What, like out of here? We go explore Bikini Bottom. Bikini Bottom. Let's see what happens. Oh, there's an invisible wall here. That's tragic. That's tragic. Okay, unironically, I think there's a SpongeBob game you can vote for. Battle for Bikini Bottom. I would fucking love it. I'd love to play that on the stream. I think that'd be really good. Because I grew up on SpongeBob. It's my shit. I like Nintendo a lot. Zelda is my main. Zelda is my main one. I've got loads of that, yeah. It'd be cool if they did did different timelines of Zelda. Yeah, I'd be down for that for sure. I also big Zelda and Nintendo person. I grew up playing their games. I'm one of those Nintendo freaks that loves Mother 3 and Earthbound, by the way, so I wish to formally apologize. I'm the weird kid that ate paint in the back of the classroom. That's me. Hi. But man, I love Mother 3 and Earthbound. One day we'll get a Mother 3 port. That's a meme that will... why do I keep coming over to clean this? It's done. It's the paint that's kicking in. The paint is setting in my brain. Alright. But, Mr. Krabs overdoses on meth. That fucking game, dude. I can't believe that's a real game, Just Kill. I can't believe that's a real fucking game. But no, the Zelda timeline thing, defo. I would definitely love to see that. My favourite Zelda is still... I do love Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's either Tears of the Kingdom or Wind Waker for me. I feel like I'm a pretty basic boy, though. I think they're pretty basic boy answers. Wind Waker's mine? Yeah, Wind Waker's a great call. I really wanna replay Twilight Princess. I haven't played it in so long, but I feel like if I went back to that one, I'd really like it now. I didn't like it as much when I first played it. I obviously still thought it was great, but I feel like I'll have a better appreciation for it, like now I'm a bit older. I definitely played that one quite young. Then again, I played a lot of them quite young. I think it's just that one was a bit more moody. I didn't quite get on with it as well. But yeah. I feel like no one liked that one as a top one. Ocarina, Twilight Princess, or Majora are like the basic ones for you. Fair enough. Dave, hot take time. I think that Ocarina of Time is good. I do think it's a little bit over-sung of praise sometimes, but I do think it's still a very good game. I think it did a great job of reforming what a Zelda game could be. But I don't have the same nostalgia that people have for it, you know? I think that's a big reason why people love that and Majora so much. I think Majora's more interesting though, as well. I think that Majora's got more going for it. I think I prefer Majora to to Ocarina. But as you say, I don't think either of them are in my top 5 for Zeldas either. Probably 6th though. You know what? So something that Just Kill's in chat right now, and we played it with Just Kill and J Boogie if you're still there, and Flawbury, another one of our streaming pals. We played Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube through a totally legitimate means, and we didn't finish it. But Four Swords Adventures might be one of my favorite Zelda games. I'm a firm believer that Four Swords Adventures is a fucking gold mine that Nintendo should do more with, and it's great. We fucking I don't know, I can't speak for Just Kill and J Boogie and Flawberry, but I had a fucking great time playing that. That's a great playthrough. We had a lot of tech issues, is the only problem. We sadly didn't finish it. But we got like probably about halfway before we were just like, we're having too many tech problems and it's not working. Because all four of us were from different countries, which meant latency was already a slight factor. But we also had somebody parsecing in through me as it is, and then on top of that, it wasn't a very stable emulation to begin with. So if all of us were playing it in the same room, I'm sure it would be just as fun, if not better, though. But it's, yeah, if Nintendo ever find a way to make that a more fluid process, or if somebody finds a way to make it an easier emulation, I'd go back to Four Swords in a heartbeat. I think Four Swords might actually be my third favourite Zelda. Oh yeah, the waterfall lagged us out, that's right. That's right. That's right. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what my favourite Zeldas are, you know? I really like... For the sake of argument, I'm going to say that Tears of the Kingdom's my favourite. But Wind Waker's a very close second. If not, they probably alternate each other. Then it's probably Breath of the Wild. Then I'm going to say A Link Between Worlds. I really like that one. Sorry, no, what am I talking about? Third would be Four Swords, then Breath of the Wild. Then it would probably be A Link Between Worlds, or maybe Majora. It'll be one of those two, probably in fifth. But yeah, it's I don't know. I really thought Tears of the Kingdom was going to be a 2-player. I really still think they should do something like that. Yeah, I think a game where you could play as Link and Zelda would be really interesting. I also, I feel like it's... I have no issues with the, like the Dynasty Warrior games and stuff like that, or like the Warriors franchise. I feel like Zelda being playable as a protagonist in like essentially only the Warriors franchise is a criminal. I think Zelda or Sheik should have like a game. If I'm completely honest with you. I think that like I saw somebody on Reddit ages ago. I don't use Reddit a ton, but many years ago I saw somebody comment that they should do a stealth, like a game that's like Thief, like the old like game Thief or Dishonored, but you play as like Sheik, and you're going around like trying to do like some kind of royal espionage mission for Hyrule. Now obviously that sounds quite dark for Zelda, but I think conceptually that sounds amazing. Like I love the idea of something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Thief good because you can bonk enemy head. True, actually, that is true. I love the little dance everybody does with their swords in Thief as well. That's my favourite bit, Just Kill. I love the way that everyone waddles like they're Jack Sparrow. It's really funny. I have the carnal sin of being a Zelda fan and not having played Tears of the Kingdom. Interesting, okay. I bought it day one, but it crashed my OG Boeing engine Switch. So I couldn't do it until the Switch 2, and I just haven't had time for it. Fair enough, man, fair enough. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It is, I will say, it did take me like 100 hours to beat that game. I'm not trying to scare you off, Awesome Elf, but like, we streamed it, and it literally took us like a whole year to finish it on stream. And that was while playing other games as well. That wasn't just my sole attention to it. I played like 300 of Breath of the Wild. Fair enough. I think I got like... I got 100-ish on Breath of the Wild as well, I think. But that was like 1.5 playthroughs worth for me. I kept telling myself I was going to do more with Breath of the Wild, but then I got kind of bored, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to move on. Just like sit down and do it. I might do it on my trip. We'll be going to Japan at the end of the month. Oh hell yeah, 10-hour flight with a good chunk of to get started. Honestly, first of all, very jealous of going to Japan, holy shit. And secondly, yeah, no, it sounds like a great plan. Sounds like a great plan. I feel like that's the biggest thing with starting massive games like that, right? It's like it's the commitment of starting them is often the hardest part. Which is honestly why, like, I've said it many times before, but it's kind of why I love streaming games so much, is because I feel like there's an actual obligation to like to go back. And I also, for anyone at home wondering why is he not focusing on the game, I apologize. I've now just turned this into a just chatting segment. I keep running over to the chum bucket and cleaning it, even though I'm done. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's but yeah, I have the same problem massively when it comes down to just like getting in the groove of it. But streaming really helps for that. It's been a goal for 10 years. Oh, hell yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're finally able to go. That sounds amazing. I thought about doing streaming to force yourself to play. I mean, I'm sure you'd be very good at it. I'm sure it'd be something that you could do. But yeah, again, it doesn't work for everybody. Like, and some people enjoy it more than other people, but it's and I don't know, it's definitely helped. Obviously I love hanging out with people and having a natter as well. A natter. I said that's so British like, innit? Having a little natter. But it's oh, there we go. That's done. Alright. But yeah, yeah, if you think you can, go for it. Base. Tool and but yeah, I don't know, I'm intrigued to see where Nintendo will go over the next few years for sure. I think a big thing for me is like I think I will get a Switch 2 eventually. I just need it to be worth the investment. That's just the biggest thing for me. I currently don't have enough drawing me in, But I don't know, like wait and see. But then I don't know what they could be releasing. I hope they'll walk down from the ledge like with the Wii U. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. Krusty Krab sign pole, Krusty Krab sign shell, and a window. Right, which window? This one. They have to make some massive IP games or something to incentivize it. I feel like, I mean, I know that the From Software thing is exciting for some people. I've got to, I'm not a big From Software guy. I don't like. Actually, I don't know. It's not even that I don't like them. I just don't think they're for me. But I'm not a big Souls fan. A Souls-like fan, and the Duskbloods thing could be fun, but yeah, I don't know. Again, not what I'd be buying a system for. I like it a lot, but it's not enough. Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know. They literally have to remake Mother 3, I think, for me to buy it like right this second. No questions asked. They will never do it. They're cowards. They'll never ever port or remake Earthbound or Mother 3. Actually, no, that being said, they have ported Earthbound, but they'll never port Mother 3. Check if you clean the top of the jump bucket. True, actually. Shall we have a look? I get a remake of Mother 3 and Earthbound, yeah. You know what, I've never played an F-Zero game. I'd be kind of down for an F-Zero game. Like if they made like a Forza style game where you could like walk around and shit, and there's a campaign, and it was F-Zero and not Mario Kart, maybe I'd consider it. But I feel like F-Zero, maybe not actually, now I think about it, F-Zero is not really built for that. You might have missed a secret task on the jump bucket, true. It's a piece of paper that says, Dave, continue to yap and not pay attention. Lots of love, the one person in the YouTube comments that didn't watch it live. Yours kindly. I reckon. It's just a poll. There we go. Perfect. We've done it. We've only gone and done it. I like the part where Dave talks for a really long time about video games. Is that a Game Grumps reference? What was your favourite episode of Game Grumps, Billy? I like the part where Aaron gets angry at games for a long time. Fuck, I love the Game Grumps, they're great. Oh yeah, alright, well, I think we're good. I think we're in the money. And you know what, that was a perfect amount of time for a stream as well. Not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna take me less than 2 hours, but that is a perfect way of getting back into streaming for the new year. I'm very happy with that. But yeah. Alright, well let's have a little watch of our progress. Here we go, this is us cleaning. I can't wait for the bit where Dave loops around on top of the chum bucket. Nope. Okay, it decided to skip that for some reason. That's crazy. That is crazy. The patty wagon. Oh, it's about macaroni. Oh, that's it. That's it. That sounds right. I like the part where Aaron talks about macaroni for a long time. That does sound familiar. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching and for being here. That's been it. I want to say a massive thank you to Technolocker for the raid earlier. I'm going to give them another shout out because they have been very, very, very lovely by sending a raid over. And also thank you to anybody that's hung around from Technolocker's chat. Awesome Elf especially, thank you so much for still being here till the end. Anybody else that's lurking, thank you very much. And thank you to all of my lovely regulars as well. Thank you Justkill, thank you J Boogie, thank you Ray, thank you Flying Monkey, thank you Pedro. Thank you anybody else that's popped by, and thank you Caleb, of course. That's going to be it for me. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I will be back again. Let me check my schedule. Actually, I might be back tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. If not, I'll be back on Saturday. Well, we'll be playing some Team Fortress 2. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm chronically addicted to Team Fortress 2, and I have been for about 10 years. Send help. So we'll be playing that, and I'll be doing a little bit more yapping. We'll be doing our one stream wonder spin on that day, so stay tuned for that as well. The fucking only TF2 streamer in existence, I know, right? But yeah, have a great rest of your week. Have a good Friday. And I'll see you guys Saturday. Thank you again, Awesome Elf. Just Kill. Anybody else that's still about. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.